This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. We begin with breaking news. The Secret Service is investigating an allegation that one of its agents groped and sexually harassed a member of Vice President Kamala Harris's staff.
The alleged incident took place last week before Vice President Harris visited Madison. The agent was on a trip with the Harris staff to scout locations for her visit. The group went out for dinner and drinks, after which the agent allegedly drunkenly groped a woman. The Secret Service says it holds its personnel to the highest of standards. Harris's office says it has zero tolerance for sexual misconduct.
This is just one of the scandals the agency is dealing with right now. We will have more information on that later on Live at 4.
In our local news, it's no secret Madison and its suburbs is growing pretty quickly.
Yeah, but how fast is that happening? And what does that mean for the upcoming election? Ellie La Liberté joins us to break that down. Ellie?
Yeah, well, this graph from the Wisconsin Department of Administration shows Dane County's growth, and it's the fastest growing county in the state. Dane County has gone blue for the past 5 presidential elections. I spoke with local Democratic and Republican parties today. Both say Dane County votes are critical for the state. In 2020, more than 89% of registered voters cast ballots in Dane County. Now, with such a political active community, both parties are trying to reach voters.
The vote here still matters because it's a statewide vote, and what matters is how the Electoral College goes, and that is based on the popular vote. So it doesn't matter where the blue vote comes from.
We're very focused on low propensity Republicans. We want to get people that we know agree with us on most of the issues, but don't always vote.
Now, Dane County's growth is 3 times the number of people added to the Milwaukee County. Now, 2/3 of the population growth in Dane County over the past year are in Madison, Fitchburg, and Sun Prairie.
Well, Ellie, we're also seeing new district maps for the Wisconsin State Legislature and an important senatorial race. Are the parties keeping these both in mind?
Yeah, the parties did tell me that they're talking with voters about some of these races. They said that some are more contested than others. One example of that is the 14th Senate district that we're seeing, which involves part of Dane County.
Ellie, relatively safe to say that Dane County is a pretty blue county. What specifically are Republicans looking to do here in Dane County?
Yeah, well, when I spoke with the chair of the Republican Party here in Dane County today, he said the goal isn't to flip the county to be red, but to just bite out a little bit of that Democratic vote. Now, specifically, they're looking for 23% to win and 25% to be comfortable. They also did mention that Trump needs to win Wisconsin for the Senate candidate Eric Hovde to be successful here. So a couple of things that they are looking at, but it's not just completely winning the state or the county.
All right, thank you, Ellie. And we'll see more of that growth's impact later this week. U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be in Madison on Friday campaigning for the Harris-Walz ticket. The campaign says the stop is part of the Reproductive Freedom Bus Tour. It follows last week's visit from Vice President herself at a rally at the Alliant Energy Center. AOC is expected to speak downtown with some students at some time during the evening.
Now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington, who's out on the weather patio. Alex, a little bit warmer, but still a beautiful day.
Yeah, just a touch warmer out here, and that's why I've got all the gold on, because we've been warming up. Remember, the frames always have something to do with the forecast. A few puffy cumulus clouds out here, otherwise a beautiful sunny day, and we've got warmer temperatures on the way. Mid-70s today, upper 70s to near 80 degrees all the way out to Monday. Remember, normal is about 70 degrees. This is about 10 degrees above normal. And then look at the temperatures as we go to Tuesday. I always snap when there's something marked happening with the temperature swings there. We go down into the 60s. A cold front will usher in much cooler temperatures, but just briefly next week. Just a brief cool down to temperatures reminiscent of what we would normally see for fall-like temperatures as we go into Monday and Tuesday. We got 7.5 here in Madison right now. Light winds, beautiful to be out here in the patio. A beautiful evening to get outdoors. Let's plan that together. We'll be down into the 60s by the time we get after our 6 o'clock newscast, and I'll take a walk about that point in time. As we move further into the overnight hours, we'll see temperatures dip down into the lower 50s, maybe some upper 40s in portions of the Wisconsin River Valley overnight, and we are expecting a little bit of patchy fog to wake up to as well Wednesday night going on into Thursday morning, with high temperatures warming all the way up into the middle to upper 70s, as I mentioned, for Thursday. Coming up in Maine weather, though, Helene, which will be impacting the American Southeast, will make its way towards the northwest. Will it get to southern Wisconsin? I have the answer.
All right, Alex, we'll see you then. At the end of next year, the Affordable Care Act's tax credits will expire. That will eliminate health insurance for 3 million people in the U.S. and add hundreds of dollars to millions of people's insurance coverage. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin is taking action to prevent that from happening with a bill that would make all the ACA's credits permanent.
And by introducing this legislation today, we have a powerful opportunity to educate about what is upcoming if we don't act.
Baldwin says if passed as is, the bill will keep the cost of premiums down for more than 230,000 Wisconsinites.
Happening tonight, the city of Monona is hosting a public information session on a $3 million tax hike for this fall's ballot. City officials say the levy will address growing operational expenses. Without the funding, the city will cut certain programs and services. Tonight's information session is from 6:30 to 8 at the library on Nicholas Road. If the referendum is approved, the tax increase will go into effect this December. It translates to about $164 a year per $100,000 in property value. News 3 Now's Braden Ross will be at that information session getting feedback from people in Monona. You can watch her live hits on News 3 Now at 6 or catch up later with the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
It's been 3 weeks since the Urban Triage ran out of funding for rental assistance, leaving thousands without that resource.
Our Tanisha Shaw spoke with community leaders who say this problem is bigger than just one organization.
Constant funding issues for human service organizations like the Beacon. I spoke to a Dane County supervisor who said this is not only an issue, but it's also a crisis.
We are facing and in the midst of a national low-income housing crisis that is very acute.
Wegledner said a big reason for the issue is pandemic funding. Organizations like the Beacon and Urban Triage receive more then. Now they have less funding, but more people in need.
Eviction filings are at pre-pandemic levels, as high as they've ever been in Dane County. Those funds have been depleted. They were never, unfortunately, intended to be permanent and ongoing. It was, one-time funds. So we really need to deal with the structural problem, which is the lack of affordable, low-income housing.
The problem continues. The Beacon is a resource center that helps people on the streets. They're attempting to expand, but because of the funding, their permanent shelter for men that's expected to open within the next year could be in jeopardy.
United Way may be pulling $100,000 of its funding for the Beacon, which is absolutely the wrong time to be pulling this funding.
Coming up at 5, the other organizations going through funding issues and the ways you can help those in need. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. More local news. People in South Madison are getting their first look at a proposed plan for new affordable housing.
The city of Madison says the Park Badger redevelopment project includes a new fire station, offices for public health officials, and hundreds of mixed-income homes. The city will spread the housing across 3 buildings. 180 new homes will be reserved for people making between 30% to 70% of Dane County's median income. Rent for people living there will be capped at 30% of their income.
A lot of this is going to be in our core workforce kind of demographic. But the idea would be that one building would be focused towards senior housing. Another building might be focused more towards, singles and small households. And then a third building could be more focused towards families with more, say, 2 and 3 bedroom units in it.
Here's a look at where Madison plans to put the development. The city is locating the new buildings between Hughes Place, Park Street, and Badger Road. Madison officials say redevelopment will take several years. Coming up next on Live at 4, Boeing continues to navigate some turbulence.
What workers say they had to do for the company in a new report. We'll be right back.
Here's the secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, has nurses that specialize in custom treatment plans. Always natural, never overfilled. Time to learn how aging is different at Robertson.
As a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on investing right now in you, the American people. And we can chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
The Friends of the Middleton Performing Arts Center present Rick Lindy and the Jukebox Legends, a musical tribute to the early roots of rock and roll. Saturday, September 28th. One show only. Tickets available online now.
For 3 years in a row, Chevy has earned more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards than any other brand. Whether it's a high-tech SUV, the all-electric Equinox EV, or a truck for work or play, Chevy is America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality. Qualified lessees can get this well-equipped 2025 Equinox LT for around $349 a month. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Get an 11% rebate on everything for your next project now at Menards. Check out our huge in-stock selection of Masterforce outdoor power equipment. Use one battery that works for all Masterforce 80-volt tools to ensure that you keep your projects moving. Like this powerful 20-inch 80-volt cordless chainsaw. It features a brushless motor for maximum power and performance. Pick it up today for just $379.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. It looks like Congress may avoid a government shutdown. The House voted to pass a bill to fund the government, 341 to 82, with only members of the GOP opposing the bill. It comes after a struggle within the GOP, with some members refusing to vote on the bill at the request of former President Trump, unless it included the SAVE Act, which sought to bar non-citizens from voting. That's already illegal. The package now heads to the Senate.
We're learning more about the lead up to the multiple issues Boeing's had with their planes this year. In a report the Senate made public today, Boeing workers say they felt pressure to focus on production and speed over quality. Employees say they didn't feel trained enough to do their jobs. The company's been facing investigation since a door plug blew off one of its planes midair in January. During a hearing yesterday, the head of the FAA said Boeing's made strides on its production since then, but there's more to do when it comes to fostering a culture of safety.
The United Nations says more than 90,000 people in Lebanon are out of their homes as Israel and Hezbollah continue to trade strikes. Today marks day 5 of airstrikes from Israel into Lebanon. And just this morning, Israel's military says its troops are preparing to possibly launch a ground operation in Lebanon. Meanwhile, President Biden says an all-out war is still possible between the two, but could be avoided. Right now, his administration's floating a proposal for a temporary ceasefire.
With regard to Lebanon, we've been working tirelessly with partners to avoid a full-blown war and to move to a diplomatic process that would allow Israelis and Lebanese alike to go back to their homes.
Human Rights Watch has called on the UN to launch an investigation into Israel's strikes on Lebanon and Hezbollah's rocket fire into northern Israel. Hezbollah says it won't stop shooting until Israel pulls out of Gaza. Israel says it won't stop its strikes until its residents can return safely to their homes in the north.
Another woman is coming forward accusing music mogul Sean Diddy Combs of sexual violence. The suit accuses Combs and his bodyguard of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman in 2001, recording the entire incident and publishing it. The woman says the incident left her with severe depression, PTSD, and continued physical pain from the assault. It comes a week after a judge denied bail to Combs in a separate case in which he's charged with sex trafficking, among other crimes. Combs' next court appearance for the case is October 9th.
There are changes coming to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Hotline to get callers more help. The Department of Health and Human Services says callers will be directed to help centers based on their physical location rather than their phone number's area code. Verizon and T-Mobile started rolling out geo-routing technology just last week. AT&T is planning to begin the process in a few months. Meanwhile, the FCC will vote on a rule to require all wireless carriers implement geo-routing for 988 calls that still maintain callers' privacy.
Now, take a look at this video from Mexico. It shows the effects of Hurricane Helene as it heads to Florida. This is what people in the state are preparing for. The National Hurricane Center says Helene is currently a Category 1 hurricane and is showing no signs of slowing. It's expected to strike the Gulf Coast near the Big Bend area sometime this week. Alex, when are you expecting Helene to make landfall, and will it impact us in any way?
Jalen, great questions. Helene likely is going to make landfall over the panhandle of Florida by the time we get to Friday. And our weather here in southern Wisconsin is high and dry and beautiful and summer-like. And we will see some impacts from Helene, but some changes in what we're expecting in southern Wisconsin. Let's get into all those details. 75 right now out there right now with our Upland Hills sponsored Skycam, showing nothing but beautiful conditions across all of southern Wisconsin. If not, a touch warm for this time of year. Let's plan the evening. 6 o'clock, 71, 8 p.m., 66, 10 p.m., 62 degrees. I plan to get a walk after the 6 o'clock newscast, and what a picture-perfect evening for that. Temperatures and water have been the main part of our weather story. Let's start with the temperatures, and then we'll get to the water part when we talk more about the effects of Helene trying to make it in this direction. 75 in Madison, 79 in Janesville right now, and 79 in Boscobel. Camp Douglas, you've got a 75-degree temperature out there right now. These are about 5 to 10 degrees above normal. Lows as we wake up Thursday morning, upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. Patchy fog not out of the question. That perfect recipe for fog tonight. A little bit of moisture near the ground, clear skies, light winds. Patchy fog is what will start Thursday, but it'll burn off quickly. Highs in the upper 70s to right around 80, and then we almost repeat everything again Thursday night, but just a little warmer. We'll do low to middle 50s, ushering in for a very warm period, extending all the way out till Monday. And it's Saturday and Sunday when the effects of Helene may start to make its way towards southern Wisconsin. And then that cold front that I started mentioning yesterday comes through Monday night and Tuesday. So any effects of Helene will be out of here. Here's the changes. The weekend forecast, Saturday and Sunday. Where are the shower chances? It looks like the effects of Helene will likely stay to the south of Wisconsin. Can't rule out a stray shower to the south near the Wisconsin-Illinois border. And now I'm entering mostly sunny conditions by the time we get to Sunday as the effects of Helene move out. That cold front comes through on Monday. And there's 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, of fall-like temperatures. That's it. And we're back up into the 70s as we go later into the week, nearing 80 potentially that following Saturday. Time for some viewer photos. As you know, I love to do. Sheila capturing this very picturesque moon. Look at that orange reddish color here. All you have to do right now, if you're sitting at home, get your phone out, scan that QR code, and that links right up to channel3000.com so you can send us your weather photos just like Sheila did from Dodgeville. What do you think, Brady and Jalen?
I think Sheila should go on Etsy and start selling these. That's a beautiful photo.
Yeah, you can start printing those, make a few bucks here and there.
Yeah, well, Jalen, Alex, and I will be your consultants.
All right, we'll sell it to you guys. Now, we may only be a month away from Halloween, but now's the time to start preparing for the winter travel holidays if you're planning to hit the roads or the skies. Experts say there are multiple ways to navigate airports' busiest days of the year. The best time to book for Thanksgiving travel is in early October. The lowest prices are typically available from mid-October to early November. After that, tickets go up nearly a third. And you can track whether you're paying more or less than the average ticket price with Google's Flights Calendar.
It's a lot of planning. I'm still trying to get used to September.
I can't believe we're only a month away from Halloween.
I know. Where does the time go?
It's going way too fast.
Yeah, well, for parents now, the school year is in full swing, and for some people, the school tasks or responsibilities and pressures, all that can be really overwhelming.
For sure, and while experts say some amount of anxiety is normal, it can also impact the students' daily life and how they function. In today's Health Minute with Mandy Gaither, Mandy has the signs and warnings of academic anxiety and how to help your child through it.
From homework to tests and other activities, sometimes school can feel a little heavy.
It's normal to experience all kinds of emotions. And when it comes to school and it comes to kids, they're no different.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program says young people don't always have the language to tell us what they're feeling.
That's why we have to look at their behavior as a sign and a form of communication and be curious about what it is that they're trying to communicate.
Baumstein says warning signs can include stomach aches and headaches with no medical cause, avoiding school, procrastinating in the morning to intentionally delay going to class or miss the bus. Others may display a no-care attitude about school or be the class clown, acting like schoolwork doesn't matter.
They might be worried about failing and would rather not even start or not even try and act like they don't care.
Baumstein says to get to the root of what's going on by asking open-ended questions without leading the child, then listen and validate what's said instead of dismissing it. She says focusing on the effort, not the outcome, can also help ease pressure.
So instead of, oh, I'm so proud of all the A's you've gotten this year, I'm proud of how hard you're working.
Finally, help children find a balance. Don't allow school to be their entire identity.
There's lots of time to be creative and unwind and relax and have fun.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Relax and have fun.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Throughout life, not just
throughout life. Yeah. Well, next on Live at 4, Josh Sprider takes us to Lodi for a blood drive.
We share with you a story of how one person's life inspired the event.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse, raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Take an EKG from anywhere, but with 6 times the data. Can your smartwatch do that? Introducing Cardia Mobile 6L, the FDA-cleared EKG that provides 6 times more heart data than any smartwatch. And it detects 3 of the most common arrhythmias in just 30 seconds, including atrial fibrillation, bradycardia, and tachycardia. Cardia Mobile 6L, the world's most advanced personal EKG. Get yours today at cardia.com or Amazon.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need, because they're a part of them, because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Champion's Big Window Sale is back.
Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free. Buy 2 Champion windows, get 2 free? I guess that means if you buy 4, you get 4 free. Buy 6, get 6 free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
In the 608, dozens of people in Lodi are rolling up their sleeves to give blood at the annual Brad Mortar Memorial Blood Drive.
Now, Mortar was known for helping many people in the community. It's happening at Lodi Area EMS until 6 tonight, where there's also a brat stand with proceeds going back into the community. Before suddenly passing in May of 2021, Brad Mortar spent 42 years of his life single-handedly donating 108 gallons of blood. His widow, Patty, says he would be proud to know his mission is living on with so many others, now stepping up to give in his honor.
When my husband passed, I was very grateful to receive a lot. I said I had a full fridge for weeks. We had a lot of support from the community, and so we had to give back. And we thought, what a better way? You know, he donated over 108 gallons. Let's just do a drive every year and try to get 108 units of blood.
There's still some appointments available to give blood this afternoon. You can learn more about how to help the cause by going to this story at channel3000.com.
Big Joe Forklifts is opening its new headquarters in DeForest, and the company says it's helping push the industry toward electric lifts. CEO Dan Ross says that in the new 120,000-foot facility, they'll provide about 50 jobs. Big Joe Forklifts also owns Big Lift and operates out of Wisconsin, Texas, South Carolina, and Illinois. But Ross Cam says Wisconsin was the perfect place for the new headquarters.
Truly, Wisconsin is our heritage. Wisconsin is our DNA. Wisconsin is the home of our factory in the Wisconsin Dells. We have such great people that work for us based out of Wisconsin. We've had such great luck recruiting from the local colleges and the local universities, and Wisconsin is a very pro-business environment.
Ross Cam says he wants to partner with the Madison Chamber of Commerce to cement Wisconsin's reputation as a leader in electric vehicles and lift trucks. Well, it's time for your daily reminder. You have until the end of next week to donate to our Coats for Kids drive.
We're partnering with the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, Clinky Cleaners, and Magic 98 for the 39th annual Coats for Kids drive. Through Saturday, October 5th, you can drop off new or gently used winter coats at any area Clinky Cleaners. For more information on how to help, just go to this story on channel3000.com.
Well, coming up, the Dairy State is set to have yet another visit from a presidential candidate.
Our Kyle Pozorski swings by Prairie du Chien ahead of the visit from former President Trump to get a look at how the community is prepping. We'll be right back.
I'm a two-time Trump voter.
In 2024, I cannot support Donald Trump.
Trump is 100%
responsible for January 6th.
His treatment of women is just disgusting.
Trump called servicemen suckers and losers.
If Trump has a second term,
it will be much worse than the first.
Kamala Harris is a prosecutor.
He's a convicted felon. In 2024,
I will be proudly voting for Kamala Harris.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years, highest gas prices ever, skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Pick and Save. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $2 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Meet Edwin Ramos. This illegal immigrant murdered 3 Americans. An MS-13 gang member, Ramos was arrested for a gun crime. But as DA, Kamala didn't prosecute him. Months later, Ramos murdered a man and his 2 sons in cold blood.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Another beautiful day across the Madison area. Started a little chilly this week, but definitely getting even warmer.
Yeah, it's a layer day. You know, you start out with something that you can like throw off, so you have a t-shirt, because it is still feeling pretty summer-like out there, Alex.
Yeah, it sure is. Speaking of layers, I had to take my dog Loki out this morning when it's in the upper 40s, right around 50. I had to have a long sleeve shirt on. It was a bit on the chilly side, but we warmed up nicely out here on the patio. A gorgeous early fall day. Let's take a look at our temperatures outside. Right now, Madison, 75 degrees. That's 5 degrees above normal right now with those few clouds that are out there, a couple of cumulus clouds, and we'll plan the rest of our evening. Those clouds will eventually go away as temperatures fall down through the 60s. We'll see temperatures overnight tonight, waking up to Thursday morning in the upper 40s to the lower 50s. So almost a repeat of what we experienced this morning. Just a little difference. I think the patchy fog, and we did have some last night, will be a bit more on the widespread side as we wake up Thursday morning. There's the low of 49 in the Wisconsin River Valley, 51 in Janesville, 55 in Monroe, 52 in Platteville, and 50 to the north in Camp Douglas. And a warm day is on the way with highs in the upper 70s for Thursday, and we're going to keep that mode for a while. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Helene. Actually will be upgraded momentarily to a hurricane. As you take note, the winds are increasing there at 85 miles per hour, so we're already seeing intensification of Helene. Coming up in Maine weather, though, we're going to be talking about how far northwest will Helene get? Will it bring showers to the area? And I'm going to give you a first glimpse of a cold front that is expected to come through early next week.
Thank you, Alex. Prairie du Chien is a city of about 5,500 people across the Mississippi River from Iowa. It's a city where a suspected Venezuelan gang member is accused by police there of assaulting a woman and a child.
And that's where former President Trump will head this Saturday to highlight immigration. And News 3 Now's Kyle Pazorski is in Prairie du Chien ahead of the campaign stop.
It is here at Prairie du Chien's Performing Arts Center where former President Donald Trump will speak on Saturday. What interests us is trying to see how this community is preparing and taking the event in such a polarizing political year. Preparations are already being made in the city of about 5,000, with a pro-Trump merchandise booth being set up Wednesday morning. In downtown, the only sign of anything political is the Crawford County Republican Party. Larry Miller was on his way there.
I've been a Trump supporter from day one.
He says in his mind, PDC supports Trump.
As far as I drive around town and see stuff in the yards and everything else, it looks like this is Trump Nation here.
Mayor Dave Hemmer tells me while Trump won the county in the past 2 elections, there's no telling which way 2024 could go in this polarizing political climate, which is why a campaign visit of any party is welcome.
If a vice president came to town, we'd give her the same treatment that we're going to give former President Trump.
In Prairie du Chien, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. The former president will speak at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday.
Well, that visit comes on the heels of a scathing report from the U.S. Senate released just today.
It details a series of warning signs the Secret Service missed in July when former President Trump was shot at a Pennsylvania rally. About an hour before the shooting, agents learned of a suspicious person with a rangefinder near the event. 2 minutes before he opened fire, agents were warned someone was on the roof just a few hundred yards from the stage. And 22 seconds before he pulled the trigger, local police sent a radio alert that the man was armed, even though agents told the Senate they weren't informed.
Vice President Harris is laying out her agenda for manufacturing if she's elected in November. While at a stop in Pittsburgh, the VP pitched her three-pillar plan: lowering costs for American families, investing in innovations and entrepreneurs, and ensuring America leads in future industries. Among those industries, manufacturing. Ahead of that announcement, we spoke with a member of the Harris campaign about how her plan could benefit Wisconsin.
I think that we've seen over the last 50 years too much of a hollowing out in communities across the Midwest, communities in Wisconsin where manufacturing jobs used to be plentiful. The vice president thinks that we can't give up on those jobs. We actually have to win the industries of the future.
This is all ahead of a planned visit from Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Friday right here in Madison.
Now here's a look at the stocks after the market closed today. Wall Street's edging back from its record highs today. The Dow down 293 points, the Nasdaq up nearly 8, and the S&P 500 down almost 11.
We're checking in with a business owner on State Street after a man damaged his business early morning on Monday.
The man threw bricks into multiple store windows and was arrested shortly after. Our Merrill Hubbard is back from State Street to tell us how one business is moving forward. Merrill.
Yeah, Jalen and Brady, Metric Forest Studio is one of at least 6 businesses that are recovering from damages. I spoke with the owner of the studio to see how the vandalism is affecting her business, and she says it won't let it throw a brick in her plans. Metric Forest is a new outlet on State Street, just surpassing 3 months of business. But this week, owner Forrest Vodish woke up to find that one of the store's windows was completely shattered. Forrest makes all of her jewelry by hand and says that she's always had a passion for creating things. It's taken over a decade to bring her business to this physical location so she can sell her art. To celebrate this dream come true, she plans to hold an official grand opening, even if it means having an imperfect window.
Right away after seeing it, I decided, you know, I'm still going to have my party. I need to celebrate being here, and I need to be, you know, proud of what I've created and not let something, you know, someone else, you know, get in the way of being thankful.
The brick went through the first panel of the store's window, but did not break through the second. Forrest says that she will have to completely replace the glass in the near future. If you are in the mood to support local businesses, this celebration is open to the public on Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Metric Forest Studio.
Meryl, thank you. And coming up next, we continue to focus on the issues important to you.
Arman Rahman returns with our 3 for the People series as we hear from local religious leaders on the ongoing Israel-Hamas war.
Welcome to Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for beautiful furniture, sofas, chairs, and recliners, sectionals, and fun accessories. Shop our Fitchburg showroom today.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Tens of millions of roofs across America are failing, wearing out decades early and leaking, oftentimes without you knowing about it, causing tremendous damage. Here's how you know you have a problem with your roof. Black streaking, your roof looks rough, or granules shedding off into your gutters or showing up in your driveway. Your roof is wearing out too fast, and it's going to cost you a bundle. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. So give us a call, and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
This shouldn't take too long, should it?
Oh no, I'll have your unit up and running in a jiffy. Oh, sorry, I have to go to the shop and get another part. Sorry, I don't have that part either. Sorry, I don't have that part either.
But you said it would be quick.
At Cardinal, we respect your time as much as you do. That's why our technicians come prepared with fully stocked trucks, ready to handle most issues in just one visit. Discover the difference. Call Cardinal.
When it comes to winning internet, TDS is in a league of our own. Just like the Green Bay Packers. Wisconsin born and bred, we live, work, play, hire, and get involved in the communities we serve. Like delivering the green and gold standard of internet. 100% fiber internet that's as fast, powerful, and reliable as your other hometown favorite, the Packers. TDS, internet that's built Wisconsin strong.
New at 5, a population boom is shaking up Dane County's political landscape with both parties focusing on the area. How could this growth affect the balance of power?
Temperatures staying above normal through a good portion of the 10-day period. The latest, though, the impacts of Helene, and I have your first forecast on temperatures going well into October.
And ahead at 6.
It looks like this is Trump Nation here.
What locals think of former President Trump pointing to their small town as a case of illegal immigration. That's tonight at 6.
In our final 3 for the People story this week on the Israel-Hamas war, we examine the deeper context and impact the conflict has had on religious and cultural communities.
Arman Rahman sat down with some representatives from Jewish and Arab communities about the war and political cycle since October 7th has been like for them. Arman?
Brady and Jalen, throughout this week, I've asked voters about anti-Semitism and Islamophobia and how they feel the candidates' rhetoric and messaging reflects that. Betsy Forrester is the rabbi at Beth Israel Center in Madison. She says she personally hasn't really dealt with anti-Semitism before Hamas's attack last October and the subsequent activism. She says it's clear to her which political side prioritizes bringing an end to the war and promoting unity here. Meanwhile, Maggie Slavin, the operations manager for the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE in Chicago, says while the Muslim community doesn't feel supported from either side, they've seen more hateful language from the right.
Each party has a platform on anti-Semitism and on Israel and Israel-Gaza and Israel more broadly. The Republican platform is very, very short. It's a few sentences. It doesn't actually say much. The Democratic platform is quite developed.
There's this abject dehumanization of, oh, these people are terrorists and they're human animals. And we see that from very right-wing portions of the country.
According to the Anti-Defamation League, there was a 13% uptick in reported anti-Semitic incidents between 2022 and 2023. CARE reported the highest number of anti-Muslim hate complaints in its history in 2023. I'll have more from CARE and Rabbi Betsy tonight at 6.
Armand, thank you. We'll see you then. There's still more time to get your plant questions in. Send those tips at channel3000.com.
We want to read those. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is standing by. And there she is. Hi, Lisa. She'll have the answers right after the break.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
4 years ago, rioters set this Minneapolis police station on fire, trying to burn me and my fellow police officers alive. Governor Tim Walz left us for dead. And Kamala Harris?
This is a movement, I'm telling you. Everyone beware. They're not going to let up, and they should not.
She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding the police. Kamala sold cops out and put families at risk. Kamala Harris is too weak and too dangerous to be president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Psoriatic arthritis symptoms can be unpredictable.
One day, your joints hurt.
Next, it's on your skin.
I got Cosentix. Feels good to move.
Feel less joint pain, swelling and tenderness, back pain, and clearer skin, and help stop further joint damage with Cosentix.
Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur.
I feel better.
Check out these moves. Just bust the move.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great-Grandma Balwig's Blue Ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
Oh, there's that Sphere in Las Vegas. Wouldn't that be cool to see a show there?
I would love to see a show there. I know they do a lot of like orchestral performances there. That's more my speed, but I'd see anything about there, to be honest.
99 degrees, so I'll go anywhere that has some AC.
Yeah.
It's a warm one there. Well, speaking of warm weather, this warm weather and the rain that we've had, you might be wondering what you should do with your plants in your garden right now.
Absolutely. Lisa Briggs is here to answer your plant and garden questions. You can still email them to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa, what do you have for us today?
Hi, guys. How are you? I've got pumpkins.
They look nice. Good pumpkin weather. Are you getting a lot of people coming in to get those right now?
They are. They've been going out by the cartload. We have all different kinds of varieties, and the team did this great sort of pumpkin patch experience. So if you want to get in the mood, you should come on over and check it out.
And so speaking of some more winter vegetables or fruits, what are some good ways to get raspberries going for this time of the year?
Well, the raspberries should be finishing up now, so best thing to do is if you have the ones that are sort of fruiting now, once we get a frost, just cut the whole patch back, and that'll be the best way to get a good crop next year. But it's not really something that you can be planting now. If you really feel the need to plant something now, I would plant garlic. That's a super easy crop, and it's super satisfying, and you can get your own really special varieties of garlic that you can harvest next summer.
It's funny that you mentioned that. My sister was just telling me that she's planting garlic for the next year, and I didn't know that was a thing, so look at that.
It is a thing, and it's so good. There are different varieties that have better tastes for like baking or whatever, so it's a really, and it's an easy crop to do.
Well, we do have another plant question. So Jamie wants to know, where do I have soil tested? My natural plants and vegetables no longer grow in the soil. And Jamie says that I do rotate what vegetable is planted there.
So the UW Extension will do soil testing. We do have some sort of, basic soil test kits here at the Garden Center, but if you really want a good definitive breakdown with a report, then the best thing to do is to get the kit. We do have the kits available here, so you take the samples, follow the instructions, and then send it off to the turf lab, and they will they'll analyze it and then send you a report. Then you can bring that back to the Garden Center, and we can tell you, of the things that they say that your soil needs, we can help you figure out what those are and rates of application and that kind of thing.
Now, we just got a question sent in from Stacy. She says that she has a tree in her yard. It resembles a big umbrella if you get it underneath. She's not sure exactly what it is. It flowered earlier, and it has a fragrance similar to lilac. What would you like to trim, and if it's touching the ground or blocking the stone path, like what exactly should Stacy do with this tree in particular?
Well, depending on when it flowered, Generally, you want to trim it right after it's done flowering. That umbrella shape, it could be, my guess is that it's some sort of ornamental cherry, a weeping flowering cherry. I don't know for sure without looking at it, but that you can just trim those stems back above the ground when it's done flowering. They flower pretty early. To know for sure, Stacy, send us a photo to the plant desk. That's plantdesk@brucecompany.com, especially if you have something when it's flowering. But even if you could just take a picture of the leaves right now, once we can ID it, then we can give you some more exact information that pertains to the tree that you have.
Well, this next question is pretty important for everyone who loves rhubarb. Chris, one of them. But Carol wants to know, can you please tell me when I can transplant my rhubarb plants? Now, or does she wait?
I would wait till next spring. As soon as she can get a shovel in the ground, and then she can dig up the clumps, divide them, and then spread them out or move them around. As long as she's putting them in a place where it gets lots of sun and the drainage is good, but it really will reestablish better in the early spring than it would reestablish now.
Well, Lisa, we're getting closer and deeper into fall. We're going to see some overnight lows. When it comes to protecting our plants, we may be seeing some frost. How should people go about doing that?
So I've been looking, and basically what you want to wait for is you want to look to see when we're going to get lower 40s. So anything below like 48, 47 degrees at night is when you'd want to have your plants come inside if you have house plants outside. The trickier part about that, though, is that you really want to treat them for insects before you bring them in the house. A little disease problem outside is a little insect problem outside is small, but once you bring it in your house, it can balloon pretty quickly. So you're going to want to treat those plants with insecticidal soap. This weekend would be a good weekend to do that. And then also add a systemic insecticide, and that will kill any eggs or larvae that are in the soil. And then when you're ready to bring them in, you can bring them in. Put them in the sunniest spot in your house.
All right, well, sounds good, Lisa. I think I know why everybody's planting garlic this time of the year. Spooky season's here. Got to keep the vampires away. Has nothing to do with cooking.
Something to do with that.
Oh, there you go.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Lisa. Now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex, what should we expect?
I learned a lot there, too. We do have some lower 40s in the forecast for low temperatures. Not anytime soon. We got to get out into next week because we got the warm stuff first. Does look like Helene is likely going to stay south of much of southern Wisconsin. Could get some clouds, maybe a passing shower, and then much cooler by Tuesday and Wednesday. That's when those cooler temperatures can be expected with overnight lows potentially as cool as the lower 40s. Beautiful evening, clear skies. They fall to the 60s. We got low to mid 70s in Dane County and carbon copy across all of southern Wisconsin. A couple upper 70s over portions of southwestern Wisconsin. Right now, latest updates on Helene. It very likely could affect the panhandle of Florida as a Category 4 storm. That's very, very significant as it moves further inland. We may see a few effects from Helene. That chance of a shower very, very far southeastern Wisconsin, well south and east of Madison, maybe a few passing clouds on Saturday. That isolated shower chance on Sunday. Most places are going to stay dry. So a sprinkle or a shower. And then as we go into Monday, a few showers popping up as a cold front then eventually sweeps on through as we go Monday afternoon, evening, going on into Tuesday, ushering in those much cooler temperatures Tuesday, going on into Wednesday. Those are really the only 2 days of fall-like weather. Maybe we include Thursday in there too before those temperatures go right back up to above normal by the end of the 10-day forecast. We'll be right back.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years. Highest gas prices ever. Skyrocketing interest rates, unaffordable housing, incomes down, unemployment rising, and a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Brian Stiles said he's proud of his extreme record. So why is he lying about it?
Stiles said he was proud to be part of a group pushing to gut Social Security and Medicare, that he proudly supports abortion bans. And Brian Stiles said he's proud to be backed by extremists pushing a total ban nationwide. Peter Barca's backed by police, firefighters, and unions because Peter puts Wisconsin first, no matter the party, and that's something to be proud of.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Come celebrate the season with Baraboo Furniture and Mattresses store-wide fall kickoff sale. Every department is on sale. Living room, bedroom, dining room, mattresses, Amish, and much more, all with the lowest prices. Over $1 million of name brand furniture to choose from in our beautiful showroom, including over 60 recliners. Free financing, all credit welcome. Hurry in today to the huge store-wide fall kickoff sale at Baraboo Furniture and Mattress, where your satisfaction is our guarantee.
3 years ago, I had an abortion of a desperately wanted and loved baby. Joan Ballwig wants to ban all abortion, with no exceptions. Not for rape or incest, not to save the mother's life. I know what it's like when women have to make these heartbreaking decisions. The very last person who should have anything to do with it is a politician like Joan Ballwig.
We'll take a look at this. A young teen, Rosalie Olson, saw plans for a new playground near her home and wasn't very impressed with the lack of accessibility.
She took those concerns to City Hall, proving she wasn't all talk. She came with crayon plans in hand, and officials were so impressed they worked with Olson, using her designs to create a completely different playground that is more accessible for kids of all ages.
That's how you make a difference. You're never too old or too young to see something and, you know, present plans to fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want in life, just go get it.
Yeah.
Worst thing that can happen is they say no.
Yeah, and then you try again. We'll be right back.
We're often asked,
is it really free to hire Gruber Law Offices?
the answer is yes. The call, the consultation, free. You pay nothing until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Fry Construction has done it again. For the 5th year, we've won the prestigious Best of Madison Award, and it's all thanks to you. To celebrate, we're offering 29% off our exclusive Absolute Gutter System with any full roof or siding project. Our gutters are custom fabricated on-site for a perfect, seamless fit that's engineered to excel. Don't just beautify your home, beautify it with the experts you trust. Call Fry Construction today and let us show you why we're the best of Madison.
My husband and I are going through IVF treatments now. It could be our only chance to have a family. But Donald Trump's plan could ban IVF in some states. My husband is in the military. He volunteered to serve. We are patriots and we go where he is assigned. What if we end up in a state where IVF is no longer legal? What will we do then?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
They get it. They know how it works. And most importantly, it works for them.
I don't have any anxiety about money anymore.
I don't have to worry about a mortgage payment every month.
It allowed me to live in my home and not have to make payments.
If you're 62 or older and own your home, you could access a portion of your equity to improve your lifestyle. A reverse mortgage loan can eliminate your monthly mortgage payments and put tax-free cash in your pocket.
It was the best thing I've ever done. And
really?
Yes, without a doubt.
These folks know. Finance of America can show you how a reverse mortgage loan uses your built-up home equity to give you tax-free cash.
It's a good thing.
So look, why don't you get the facts like these folks did and see if a reverse mortgage could work for you?
Call Finance of America and get your free info kit. Call 1-800-791-1557.
If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, watch out.
The insurance company is going to